Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome to another MAMG Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. When we left off, we started the Turnabout Samurai case, and now we're about to do our first trial day. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to go up against Edgeworth, and we all know that he's got a couple tricks up his sleeve, so who knows how smooth of sailing this is gonna really be. I don't know, I hit the back button, but I wanna go ahead and start this day so that we can see where this trial takes us. Okay, let's do it. Hey Edgeworth, hi buddy, how's it going? The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer at Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to your testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. First, I would like to call a familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Ah, Gumshoe. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studios, see? This here's the employee area. The actors did a run-through on their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station's the gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then, after lunch, the victim Jack Hammer went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found launched in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case, in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? No, we're good. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Okay, here we go. Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So, just call me Grandma.
Oh god, here she goes again. With the fastness. Oh, she's so quick. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Alrighty. Here we go. Face off against Oldbag.
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 1 o'clock. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alrighty, so there is one thing that kind of caught my eye at the very beginning. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, you've played through these before, so you remember everything. I don't. It's been years. Like, I think I played Phoenix Wright in high school. Maybe. So, like, I remember bits and pieces, but not everything. So I don't know exactly what to press or what to do. But I'm kind of like, okay, I think it was one of these things. And also, the anime came out for the first season, and I've watched a few episodes of that. So that's part of it, too. Okay, so let me see. You were at the main gate from then. I think this is what I wanted to press on because we had the other. Do we not have the other photo? Photo number 2. Yeah, so that may be it, but we're not gonna present it yet. We're gonna press first. So you were watching there the whole time. No breaks. Not even a second.
Of course. I am a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eat those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Ooh, snipper whapper. Snipper whapper?
Old Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? Again, I think Maya was supposed to say that, not Phoenix. So, the witness was on duty through the afternoon, the whole time. Very well. What did you see? This might not be right. Let's see if we can do it, though. Let's present this and see what happens. Nope, it's not yet. Nope, because the music stops when you do it right, for dramatic effect. So, yeah, even though it says photo number 2, and we know that another photo was taken, it's not where we need to be right now. So, is there anything else that we can... Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I want to look at my stuff. Okay, so his autopsy report, the guide map, the card key. No, no. Yeah, we may have to press around and see what we can find. Because they're saying to raise an objection, but... Or maybe Phoenix was telling Maya to raise an objection. Because she thought it was weird.
Interesting to me, because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers. That man right there, and he was heading to the studio.
Maybe this? Because we can't see that it's Powers? So you saw Mr. Powers.
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny?
Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him.
Alright, let's present the picture now. There we go. That's what we needed to do. Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Miss Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. Okay. What is this, exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
Yeah. Well, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss, witness. He's having trouble calling her Oldbag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that this person in the photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised?
The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof then. Alrighty, so what do we got? If Gumshoe blew it off.
I never said anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had so he had sprained his ankle. Ah, words. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may continue to I'm sorry. You may cross-examine the witness. Alrighty. Let me get into the game here. I love this game and I won't ruin it with my inability to read words. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Kind of weird. Okay. Let's press her until she squeals then. Okay, don't worry about that. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. Okay, what about this? He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
His samurai spear?
The murder weapon? Luckily, I was there with duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record.
Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot? Okay. Alrighty, so clear as day, huh? Are you absolutely sure? Let's take a look at that picture again. So he was walking strangely because he was injured. It does look like he was dragging his foot.
See? And you didn't trust me, whippersnapper. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
Not really. Still, you can't look at this and say it's Powers. Yes, but only Mr. Powers would have been dragging his leg. He has a point. It does mean quite likely that it was Powers. There's gotta be more to this. I better keep pressing her. Alright, so let's press everything, I guess. Did I already do that one? Yeah, okay, so let's go back. Okay, so I never say anything you don't mean.
Whippersnapper!
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on straight and narrow. The up and up. Youth today, always whining about each other, putting blah blah blah.
Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. Alright, we'll press some more because there is some pretty fun dialogue in here. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's still samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate. And me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing. Just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then? Okay. trip and fall?
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So, Power sprayed his ankle. I helped him make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning the backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony. Okay, so we already did that. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else got not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Oh God, Edgeworth, what are you gonna do to me? Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
Witness's account continued. Okay.
The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them.
That's all you're gonna give me? So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Thanks, Judge. I'm gonna press. Maybe we can get some more statements. How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about being a secret pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. Okay. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking? Right.
No one else went there.
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them.
Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy? Oh, poor Edgeworth.
Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Alrighty. No one else went there, you would have seen them. Let's try the picture. Okay, good. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photograph was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So, whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. that very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is a bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2? The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo?
He's got a point. Order. Order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
Eh? Watch your mouth, you whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes. That's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help!
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper, too.
Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah! That's right! I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. Your testimony, please. The other person.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security camera and check them. I throw out any photos that are suspicious looking, you see? Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've ever heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
Thanks, Maya. The other person, here we go.
Every day, after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do.
Another job?
That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security system data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating.
Really? Alrighty.
How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious-looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Okay, so you remember throwing out one photo.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words.
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate's been loose for a while. It leads outside and, well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and...
And?
They're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids? So, on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
what? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was a steel samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh yes, well, we see his type every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick? What's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him.
I'd like to take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Ugh.
Mr. WP,
Yes?
tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio.
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping. Honest.
So who was in the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? The steel samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone who would want to steal a steel samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
It doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we gonna do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go.
What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that.
That was a quick 5 minutes.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple.
Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claims. There is another person who could have committed the crime.
Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers who could have committed the murder?
Not the boy. I don't think it was the assistant because she wasn't aware. So out of these 3, Miss Oldbag is the most likely suspect. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in this suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about that injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper.
Order. Order! Is this true, Oldbag?
Oldbag? What's Miss Oldbag to you?
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection or some new evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Let's do it. It's a trap, but let's do it. The very same reasoning that makes Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure?
Oh, is it nice to be... or is it nice to the kids and mean to your elders' day, whippersnapper? I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Do I? Is it the spear? I don't know. How do we know the boy didn't do it? The card key, the map. The spear seems the most likely. Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The windbag? Speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness. Miss Windy... what was her name? Something, Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Wait a second. I'm not gonna just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking.
Maya. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something.
there were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. With pleasure. Okay, so why did you keep quiet about something? So, you were told not to talk.
That's right, by the studio and TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it.
Some other people at the studio. Who else we got? Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked him all my questions, but yeah, let's do it. It said that nothing to do with it. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that, silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked? I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. I don't... No harm in, yeah, getting as much info as you can. Okay. Oh, is that it? Hang on, let's press. So they were actually in the studio.
Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came.
I'll kill this woman. I swear it. I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Almost. She really left him hanging on this one. I just want to see like Edgeworth's reactions. Them? Who were these people? Okay, I guess we already did this. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a break then. I think we're good. Sorry, I gotta fast forward through this. Of course I picked the longest one to choose. Alright. I think I'm good. Let's take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and, some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. Court is adjourned. Finally, I think we're good. Whew, alrighty. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Aw, really, it's nothing.
Oh, or should I... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigation. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick,
have we figured out just who it was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation.
Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Alrighty, so we did it. The first day of the trial is done. And now we know that there were some other people there who haven't testified, and they're hiding the fact that they were even in the rehearsal room and that they had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I'm sure about that. Anyways, we'll continue the investigation phase for the Turnabout Samurai in the next episode. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ. That's fine. There he is.
But what's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh. Is that guy really him?
What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him. Will Powers, our client. That's him.
Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but he definitely did it.
Murder. At least once, maybe twice. Oh, Maya. I love you so much.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you saying?